Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. On today's review, we take a look at the Marvel Legends Marvel 80 Years Wolverine vs. Hulk 2-pack. Today I'll be reviewing these figures in 6 categories: accessories, articulation, design, are they essential to your collection, functionality, and price. Once all scores are totaled, I'll give you my opinion if these figures are a pass or a purchase. So very quickly before we jump into the review, I am very excited to have this 2-pack. The Hulk looks amazing in package, and even though we've had the similar version of this Wolverine, I am happy to have another Tiger Stripe Wolverine added to my collection. So for accessories, you get a very unexciting 5 items in total. This will perhaps be the quickest accessory video that I do. You receive 2 fisted hands for Wolverine. I do like that this blue seems to be done in a different color than the other Tiger Stripe, so the hands actually look good. And the metallic silver, which is used for the openings that the claws come out, actually look good as well. And finally, you receive a fisted hand that has a variation of green. I really like that, and you can see the scope work, you can see the veins coming through, and some extra plastic here. And you get an open hand for Hulk. And you receive this ripped shirt or lab jacket. So in total, not a lot. So as far as accessories, I am going to give this 2-pack a 5 out of 10. So for articulation, let's start with Wolverine. So the head is able to look that far up, which is great. It's able to look all the way down. You can rotate it full 360 if you choose to. And surprisingly, no side-to-side pivot. So the arms are able to come up. Oh no, I know they come up more than this. All right, so in fear of me breaking my Wolverine, I'm going to stop about here. So this is all the arms are able to come up, and I'm very surprised. Even if I move the shoulder pad out, that is all that I'm getting. Not sure if I heat that up some, if I'll get more range. So with the butterfly joint, the arm is able to move in that much. I thought it had more range and moving back about that much. So you do have an upper bicep cut. The hands are able to rotate a full 360, and they hinge side to side. The elbows are double jointed, bending in about that much. And there's a part that I have to talk about in the functionality part. And it's not just with Wolverine, but it's a few of the legends. So continuing on, Wolverine is able to crunch all the way forward, a good amount backwards. You do get rotation at the waist, and 0 amount of pivot. The legs are able to separate about that much, able to go forward that much, back that much. You get upper thigh cut. The knees are double jointed. Wolverine can almost kick itself in the own keister. The boot is able to rotate. The feet hinges up that much, down, and you get great ankle articulation. And also the claws themselves are articulated. So now on to the Hulk. So with the Hulk, the head is barely able to look up any. It's able to look all the way down, full 360. And with the Hulk, you get a decent amount of pivot. So the arms are able to come up about that much, rotate full 360. I forgot to rotate Wolverine. However, he does rotate a full 360 as well. You do get upper bicep cut. The elbows are single jointed, bending in about that much. The wrists rotate and hinge side to side. Feel like I forgot a part on the arm. If I did, I'll come back. So with the torso, Hulk is able to crunch forward about that much, backwards about that much. You do have rotation at the waist and some upper pivot as well. Yep, it's definitely there. So the legs are able to stretch out about that much, kick forward that much, backwards barely any, You do have upper rotation and you do have an upper cut. The knees are double jointed, bending in about that much. His feet, you're able to, you're able to get some upward mobility. Down way more, and great pivot side to side. So I gotta say that I'm actually surprised here that the Hulk seems to be better articulated than this version of Wolverine, and I'm not sure why. So I'm a bit disappointed in the articulation of Wolverine. Pretty impressed with the articulation on Hulk. So I'm going to give Wolverine a score of 6 out of 10. I'm going to give the Hulk, for being a much bulkier figure, an 8 out of 10. So combining them two, the average for articulation for the 2-pack will be a 7 out of 10. So for design, both figures look great. I really like this yellow color on Wolverine. The blue is not as bright as the previous version. I actually prefer that blue. And with the Hulk, he looks fantastic. So for overall design for both figures, I'm going to give them a 9 out of 10. So is the 2-pack essential to your collection? Let's start with Wolverine. So any Marvel Legends collector, we have a plethora of Wolverines in our collection. We also have a Tiger Stripe version. However, we do not receive this head. I know that Hasbro could have thrown that head in with any other 2-pack or single pack as an additional accessory. I myself do not mind having the additional Tiger Stripe suit. However, it's not necessary. The Hulk, on the other hand, is absolutely essential. This is perhaps I'm not going to say perhaps. I'm going to say that this is the best Marvel Legends Hulk that I own. So for the Hulk, I would give him a 10 as far as being essential to the collection. With the Wolverine, being that we received one that was very similar not too many months ago, I'm going to give Wolverine a 5. So collectively, it would be a 7.5. However, being I don't do half numbers on my review, I'm going to choose to round up, and I'm going to give the duo an 8 for being essential to your collection. So for functionality, let's start with Wolverine, as he has the most glaring issues. The first would be the lack of head pivot, and then just working my way down would be the shoulder pads. Not going to spend a lot of time here, as I don't know how Hasbro would have done this better. It's just something about the shoulder pads that personally bother me. Now, the biggest issue on this figure would be the soft plastic. If you could see how easily this moves, and this isn't the issue just with this Wolverine. This is the case with several of my Marvel Legends, especially female figures, and usually within the legs. So Hasbro, whatever factory you are having producing your figure, you need to have them produce better quality plastic. I understand that these figures are $20. I would rather pay a small increase to have a better product, because both of these are extremely loose, and in time this is just going to get extra loose. Now, aside from that, going back to the arms, they're very limiting. I was expecting this Wolverine to have better articulation. However, this is all I'm able to get the arms to move up, and this is very limiting for a Wolverine figure, and it's quite disappointing. Also, the legs don't spread out that far. I feel like for Wolverine, again, that's very limiting. Moving on to the Hulk. So you have these, well, it's not really, I'm not sure if I should call this soft goods or not. It is made out of probably a rubber. So it does its job well enough. However, being that it's not cloth, it doesn't sit flat. So you have certain areas that do not fold against his chest. It's not a big deal for me. However, I can see why some collectors may have an issue with it. I don't plan to keep this on permanently. If you did, the easy solution would be to glue it down. I'm not going to glue it down on my figure. So one of the issues with the Hulk is the lack of head movement. He can barely look up. So that in itself is a bit disappointing. Aside from that, I'm pretty happy with the overall movement and functionality out of this figure. So very surprisingly, I am more happy with the articulation on Hulk than I am with Wolverine. So for functionality, I'll actually be giving the Hulk a 9 out of 10. And for Wolverine, I feel that those joints are just way too soft. I think for functionality, I'm going to give Wolverine a 5 out of 10. Giving the two a score of 14. And the average of that will be 7 for functionality. So for pricing, this 2-pack is $60 if you get it from Hasbro Pulse. I was impatient and purchased it from my comic shop, which cost me about $76. So looking at the original price point of $60, do I feel that it's worth it for this 2-pack? So let's talk about what you get. In terms of accessories, blah. The accessories will not make you purchase this. In addition, if you're looking for an alternate version of Wolverine, I don't feel that this version is worth the purchase as well. However, if you're purchasing this 2-pack because of the Hulk figure, then it's absolutely worth it. I honestly feel that Hulk could warrant the $60 by himself. So I actually look at the Wolverine as a bonus item. Hulk is tall, but not too tall, and he is super wide. And this is the Hulk that most Marvel Legend Hasbro collectors have been waiting for. So I look at Hulk as a Build-A-Figure, and those of you who collect Marvel Legends, you know with a Build-A-Figure, typically it takes 6 or 7 figures to put together, so you're looking at a price point of, let's say, $120 to build a character this size. So to be able to do it for $60 with another figure, I'm going to say that it's worth it. So it's definitely a purchase. So for pricing, while I wish it would have come with better accessories, I'm going to give the 2-pack a 10 for pricing. So that will give the Wolverine vs. Hulk 2-pack an overall cliff score of, wait for it. So here's the Hulk standing on his own. Here is the Hulk next to Thing, and I am so upset that I did not purchase 2 of the things when I had the opportunity. I decided to leave one for the next collector, something that I'm regretting to this day. And here's the Hulk next to Marvel Legends Monster Venom. Here's Wolverine standing on his own. Here's Wolverine next to the outdated Jean Grey. Her legs are so wobbly, the plastic in her knees are so loose that I have to hold her toes so that she doesn't tip over. And here's Wolverine next to Sabretooth. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and I hope to catch you during the next review.